Hello, I'm Cat, and last week we received an interesting leak which seemingly confirmed fireflies are not just a theory of mine, but are actually coming to the game. These leaks also suggest that pigs are receiving some form of update and even give us a date to expect the announcement on. Spoiler, by the way, that date is next week, but what are we receiving? Why did we learn about it? And how does Minecraft have yet another leaker? Well, that's what we'll be going through today, and you can subscribe to stay up to date with the latest news, by the way. But let's start with what the leaker shared, because they said that some little teasers for the spring drop are that there is going to be something with the yellow square and then the black square emoji, and then there is going to be a pig emoji, and then they say that this thing is going to be happening on January the 8th. And if you're curious as to why you're seeing this in a paraphrased tweet, it's because the original source of this information has been very hard to verify. It first came out from this Wattles video where he says that his source for the same information I've just told you is that there is a friend of his on a Discord server, and he can't name the friend or the Discord server, but on that Discord server there are definitely leaks. This is great if you trust Wattles and trust his friend you don't know and trust the server, but how can you verify each of those links in the chain without knowing what they are? Again, it's very, very hard to verify as information, and that is why I went on a quest to prove that this isn't someone faking it, and it's someone with real inside info, so we can believe in what is actually coming from it. So the first exciting thing from this came from the Minecraft wiki admin, who said that yes, they had heard about this leak previously, and it came from the MCIA server, but what is that server, and what is the leak, and how do we verify it? Well, here's the deal. I know someone who is on the server. It's the Minecraft Ideas Academy server, and it's something anyone can join, but there is a private section called Leaks. On that section of the server, there is someone called John, who clearly loves the game design of Minecraft. They clearly either work for the game passionately or very closely with it, because they have all sorts of inside information. The best example is this exchange right here, where John says there might be more than one. I don't know. I forgot. It's got air powers. Let me pull up the design doc for it. Yep, I think it might be something similar to an overworld blaze. Anyway, I'm hyped and needed someone to share it with, and this is obviously referring to the breeze, but they are referring to it months before the trial chamber was ever announced to the public. And this could just be a very lucky guess. I mean, it sounds very verifiable that he's going into a design doc, but maybe an air overworld blaze is just something you could wing and get a really good shot on, and so after that, I figured it'd be worth looking into what else he said, and as it turns out, he referenced that something ominous lurks afoot, and that was days before the Ominous Vault came to Minecraft. He says the Ominous Vault used to be called the Echo Vault, and he also shares some very early footage of Minecraft Dungeons. I can't show you too much of this, but what I can show you at the very end is that there's an old Minecraft Dungeons logo in there, and again, this is very high effort to be a fake, and also clearly has information before it is publicly available. Is this a developer or the friend of a developer, or just someone who has access to Mojang files in a way they're not meant to? Well, it's very hard to say, but in either case you can verify that there is at least some decent chance of something they say being true. And so what did they say specifically when it comes to the fireflies and the pigs? Well, they say they just saw Phoenix's new videos. It's abysmal what passes for a leak nowadays. Here's a better one for the spring drop. And then yellow square and then black square. This is a huge bombshell by itself, especially saying that it's going to be the spring drop. That's what we kind of figured, but now we have it confirmed, if John is correct. But he also says, oh yeah, also, and then there is a pig face right here, hinting or perhaps confirming that something will be happening with pigs as well. But the final leak here is perhaps the most exciting, because he says just more chill. Anyway, be on the lookout for January 8th. And this is of course a Wednesday, and it's also a very close Wednesday, much sooner than we would otherwise expect, which is why I think we'll be learning about this pig information and this firefly information on that date. And in fact, if you go to the original Minecraft leak, so they shared this via their own WhatsApp group. It's kind of more of a teaser than a leak because they shared it themselves, but they did share in response to someone asking about the next update these 4 emojis, and the obvious thought about that is that clearly these are just talking about the time of the next update. But when confronted with this idea, David, or Cornerhard, a Minecraft developer, said if it was only telling you information you already knew, it wouldn't be a teaser. And so these 4 emojis are official from Mojang. These 3 emojis come from a leak, and all of that will be revealed in the spring update, which will be first revealed to us on January the 8th. Indeed, that January the 8th is when we'll have a good idea as to whether this John person is real and has some real information. Indeed, everyone who is involved with the server seems to think it is, or as to whether this isn't. And that is why I'm so incredibly excited for just over a week from now. What will we be learning then? Well, I think that fireflies were already quite likely. I suggested them before anyone learned about this leak, clearly, because I think that them coming back to their old features is one that is always popular and will get them a lot of support back from the community. So fireflies made sense before we got got this yellow and black emoji, but what about the pig? No one was suggesting pigs anywhere, and the best we've seen from our community is that maybe the hints with the flower and the calendar were a Valentine's Day update. Sure, that's pink, but it doesn't necessarily imply pig, right? It's a great idea because they have an unused Valentine's Day cape anyway, and also Tegru says the one thing they would love is an atmosphere update, and this is something I've seen so much from in the community, not just people saying that they would really love Minecraft to change more than they like it to add. Indeed, Minecraft's most successful updates were in this era. It's been something I've been thinking about for a while, and I put all my thoughts into a video essay that I'm currently working on, but the point is to say that people love changes to the game and adds to atmosphere, so in the same way that so many people told me I'm wrong when I said that Minecraft mobs need to have a use, one of the easiest way to add more pointless mob variants would be to take something like the pig, which they already have variants for, they made them for Minecraft Earth, and why not go in there and just tweak these a tiny bit. Add a white pig and a spotted pig, and of course the most famous type, the muddy pig. These would all be hugely popular were they to come to the game, and so is that what Minecraft are working on? Well, I think that this is definitely something under consideration. What I will say though, with I'm going to go ahead and say, even though I am a news channel and I could get you hyped unnecessarily, I think that even though the 8th is when this will be revealed, I would expect to see a snapshot on the 8th potentially, but I wouldn't expect to see fireflies or pigs or anything like that. Instead, I expect they'll lay out their plans for the spring drop. Whatever it's going to be, this is what John says it is, this is what Minecraft have vaguely hinted at with their calendar. I think that spring is the timing, and I think therefore they've got only a few snapshots to get rolling very quickly into whether it's fireflies or pigs or entirely unrelated things, and all of these leaks are lies, but I do think that that is when we are likely going to be learning about it, and in the same way that, you know, like, even if you're wrong about something, you can be right, you know, the broken clock is right twice a day. I think that that is why January the 8th is a day to watch, and why I've had to actually move some flights around to make it work. Fun fact, don't worry about me though. What you should worry about is this comment, which I thought was really endearing. It came from Foster F, and so they are someone who says that it's not related to the video, but this is a great community to share their incredibly random, time-consuming projects, and I thought this was really wholesome, that this is the right community for this, because I was so excited to hear about, yeah, they removed their obsidian towers, they covered the main end island with 3 layers of sand to make sure no endermen spawn. That's a problem I've had. They built a desert village house in it and a half-buried pyramid, and now they're going to build 6 separate villages, one for the villagers of each biome, which would be perfect, by the way. But I love that you wanted to share this, and I think that's really interesting, but it'd be perfect if they ever implement the villager trade rebalance, which seemingly they look like they might be on the way to doing. In the Minecraft Annual this year, they have this very, very interesting section where they say that the enchantment books you can trade with villagers are now specific to which biome the villager is from. So if you're looking for a specific enchantment, you'll need to find the correct villager to get it. This is an official Minecraft product, and again, a friend of the channel, it's me, James, actually shared this, but as you can see, it's an official Mojang product, and so is this Mojang confirming they are going to be changing it in 2025? I actually think it's more likely that it's a mistake, either because the people writing the book had, you know, learned, just like much of the community, that this was happening and didn't realize it wasn't anymore, or because they do have a little bit of a sneak preview that, yeah, there is a big update with all these little minor changes coming at some point, and what will that be like? Well, we can dive into that later. But for now, if you are a Foster F or someone like that, and you're working on a big project, and you think that this is the, you know, community for long-term survival worlds, you'd be right, and so you might not have heard about it, but on the Reddit, I've been encouraging people to post their fun builds they've been making in their survival worlds, and so here is Toycat's house made out of resin. This is from Cat R Beanie, as you can see, a moderator for the channel. They say they built it during the live streams, which I think was very wholesome. This is Toycat's house, but it's 2024. Indeed, this is what I would build my house like, clearly, if I was using 2024 build logic. We've got a melon house in my survival world from Ivory X4K, a tough church in my survival world. I actually like this one quite a lot. I feel like it's charming because it's one of those basic builds that you still know takes a very, very long time to make, and that's what I always love about this community, is we can appreciate stuff like this. We've got this Nether Mountain from AG Kitty, and also a Netherite beacon and an Aztec pyramid from Successful Failure 69, and I've got to totally agree. This is the most successful failure I've ever seen. I love seeing these, so please do keep posting them. I was thinking, actually, we could do the stereotypical YouTuber Reddit thing, and we could go through and react to the very best builds that are posted on there over, let's say, the next week, because also there is going to be, presumably, one more Q&A before the big January the 8th piece of news comes out, and that is very exciting, that is to say. I think that fireflies seem very likely as a name drop of some form. I think that January the 8th is a very likely date, and what exactly is coming from the pigs and the flowers is what I think we could speculate speculate on forever, but which we'll have a much better idea on the 8th. So if you have a great idea, I would love to hear about it, but otherwise, that's when we're going to be learning. As to the final question I think we asked in the intro, why do these leaks keep happening? How did we have Roger Badgerman and the potentially true Dangioni, and then also Minecraft Live leaked, and now we have all of this coming out? Well, it could be one of two things. I think that a lot of Minecraft developers do wish that they could secretly share the information they're working on. This is how it used to be done back in the day, but at some point, corporate Mojang took over and said, you shouldn't share things, we're in charge of that. I think that this could easily be avoided if instead of this being a leak, this was public information. But two, I think that this isn't actually as many different leakers as you might think. Indeed, if you look into John and the idea of the Echo Vault and the fact that he references those emojis, that is a direct reference to Dangioni, and according to my source, this same person, John, was who told them about Dangioni in the first place, and so maybe there was some truth to that account, but they got in trouble for sharing it too publicly, and so now they've gone onto a private Discord server where even if Mojang Enforcement wants to get them, they can't easily. If Mojang Enforcement sends a message to Twitter saying this is our copyrighted content, then Twitter legally has to take it down, but if it's on a private Discord server, it's near impossible for Mojang to ask them to remove it. I mean, it would be very, very tricky for them to get involved in there, and so maybe it stays up for a while, or maybe this is the last we hear from Mysterious John, but in either case, I'm very excited to learn on January the 8th if any of this was true, and indeed, I've been working on moving flights around this morning so that I can easily be here on that day to share everything we'll need to know. And with that said, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Like it if you did like it, share it if you really liked it, subscribe if you want to see more Minecraft news, because I'll see you all next time. Also, Happy New Year soon.